welcome to the show of shows for the average Joes. My name's Terry Verrett, and this is my partner in crime, Tyler Nelson. And we come to you with our show, Nelly The Stache, Sports Talk, and Lanyard. This is Nelly, and I'm The Stache. Today we'll be talking about the Final Four, MLB opening weekend, the Pels, LSU baseball, and much more. By the way, this song is named Hounds by Them Old Ghosts. Give them a shout, give them a check out whenever you get the chance on any streaming device or any type of music device you can think of. Alright, so first things first. I think we'll talk about the Final Four. Obviously, we got to talk about that UCLA-Gonzaga game, because that was nuts.
That was one of the best Final Four games in a long time.
Honestly, I was so glued to that game because I had money riding on that game. I ain't even gonna lie. 2-game parlay, money riding on the game. At a party with my family and friends, and 20 of us just glued to the TV, and just it was like one of those things at first where like you're watching the game, and you're like, all right, it'd be cool if UCLA pulls it off, and then like.
So what'd you have? What was the parlay? What did you know?
All right, so the parlay was a 2-game parlay on Saturday. I had Baylor and UCLA. When Baylor wiped the floor with them, I was like, all right, okay. Like, honestly, like, at halftime, I was like, I could breathe about the Baylor game.
Yeah, I was
like, all right, yeah, that right there. Houston they had nothing. They couldn't score. I think they were exposed by Oregon State's zone defense. They just can't,
They had a pretty easy path to the Final Four.
They did. Out of everybody, they definitely
double-digit seeds the whole way.
Yeah. I mean, Giroux played great all tournament long, but man, once he got the Baylor, that was a wrap. I mean, Baylor didn't play isolation basketball. They passed the ball around a ton. They made a lot of shots, and then on defense, they are not bad. I think they're gonna give Gonzaga a big-time run for their money. Honestly, if you ask me, I'm saying Baylor's going with the win tonight. I do. I honestly like Baylor tonight. I mean, I'm not betting on it because I had learned my lesson Saturday on betting against Gonzaga, but if I had to choose, gun to the head, I'm going with Baylor over Gonzaga. But back to that game. You got 20 people watching, we're screaming. Dude, and with 2 seconds left, drives to the goal right before overtime. I looked at it like multiple times. I want that to be a blocking call so bad, but I'm like, if it was the other way around, I would have been screaming charge.
That's such a college basketball call. Like in the NBA,
that's never going to get called. That's not even a call at all, period. But he missed the shot anyway. It wouldn't have mattered. Maybe a rebound or something, a putback, but nothing happened there. But gotta tip the cap to Jalen Suggs. Man, you can't tell me that guy's not a top 3 pick, right?
I'd take him. I'd like to have him, but never know with the NBA draft.
Combine and whatnot, but would you take Cunningham over Jalen Suggs?
Yeah, I think he's got a good one, right? Kate Cunningham.
Dude, you know who he reminds me of big time?
Who's that?
Markelle Fultz.
Fultz?
Markelle Fultz, when he was at Washington, they said it was as easy as breathing oxygen as it was for him scoring basketball. And then he shows up to Summer League, and it's like, the hit shot. And
he did have an injury. He had a pretty bad injury, thoracic outlet syndrome. The same thing Matt Harvey had.
Yeah, and we see how that's going.
Both of them
right.
are doing now.
Well, I think he got a win. I think he had a win this past week.
He did get a win. I believe they
Saturday
swept
the Red Sox. They did. It was like the first time since 1948 the Red Sox got swept at home opening season series.
The Red Sox might suck again, really badly.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna. Especially around here. I don't know too many Red Sox fans except for maybe Ryan Robin. That's about it. Poor guy. Sorry. But back to Cade Cunningham and Jalen Suggs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Cade Cunningham because just too many times where you got guys that get drafted high up and their teams didn't do anything in college. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but yeah, he did well. He's doing well. He's probably going to be Defensive Player of the Year. But there's too many other guys that's like Anthony Bennett. UNLV, they lost in the first round, second round of the tournament. Pegged as an off-brand LeBron. But I mean, sure, you can jump out the gym and whatnot, but you got to prove that you can win. Like, what I go back to is like D Wade or Melo, just like guys that carry their team throughout the tournament and showed that they can just pull off in the clutch time and time again. Jalen Suggs has done nothing but prove that, and this guy's got to go top 3. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the number 1 pick, especially if he pulls something off again tonight. Let's talk about MLB opening weekend, too. I mean, my team's the Cards.
That was a good series.
I enjoyed the first game. Even though, dude, the first game, they went up big in the beginning. And I was, quite sure they were going to blow that game. They had time and time again, the Reds were, bases loaded, going into, almost every inning. And they couldn't hit with runners in scoring position throughout the game. But it was only 11-7. But it could have been way worse. Cardinals should have stomped them. But I think they're gonna suck this year too. Honestly, I mean,
Cardinals.
Yeah, I really don't think the Cardinals are gonna be any good this year.
It's early.
It's early.
I don't know.
It's early, but they didn't do anything to change any pitching staff. I mean, it's all the same. They got Arenado.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
That's a huge deal, but he also can't go on the mound and throw strikes.
True. It's true.
So, I mean. How about the Yankees? What they're doing this year?
Yankees 1-2 this week. They'll be fine. They're same team they've had the last 3 or 4 years. They'll be in the playoffs unless something crazy happens.
Let me ask you something. If they don't win the World Series this year or come close to it, are they the 2010s Dallas Cowboys of baseball? Where every year they pegged as one of the favorites to win, the Super Bowl. Well, in baseball, pegged to win the World Series.
That's pretty much been the Yankees the last 10 years.
No steak, all sizzle. Because I mean, what did they used to be called? The baby bombers, or what the Bronx baby
Bronx bombers. Yeah, I don't really expect them to win the World Series, honestly, but I think they'll be close. They'll be there.
What are you calling? What's your predictions for the Yankees this season? Where do they finish?
I think they'll get to the championship series, maybe to the World Series. They'll need some luck if they get there. I think the Dodgers are better than everybody else right now.
Yeah, I think that's just totally unfair. That's bullshit. God.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, every pitcher on that team is a legitimate ace. That every starting pitcher is a legit ace for any other team. I mean, obviously, Bauer was.
Somebody else should have paid him. I mean, they're the only team right now that's willing to go out and do it. Yankees wouldn't do it, and that'll probably be their downfall.
But in baseball, is there a salary cap now, or there's still no cap? There's a
luxury tax. That's it. You can pay as much as you want. But
I guess that's where I guess you'll always see too the NBA tries to peg it this way, but honestly, it shows more in MLB with media outlets like your East Coast and West Coast teams. It seems to me like your East Coast and West Coast teams really make the biggest splashes because TV and
the media rights,
right?
Marketability.
You see teams every now and again that pull off great years like the Tampa Bay Rays last year, not a big market, but they did well.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes something crazy like how they use that pitching staff. What do they do? They go
They gotta go outside the box.
Right. What do they go? Four innings with the starting pitcher, and then reliever, and try
That's
to
pretty much how they did it in the postseason against the Yankees.
And they just throw everybody off. It just, I don't know. It's kind of strange that a bunch of MLB teams, the ones that aren't big money, they got to come up with something outside the box, like the A's did with Moneyball, stuff like that. Do you think they should change that? Do you think they should change it and put a salary cap like they do in basketball and football?
I think it's working well how it is right now. I don't think they need a salary cap. The owners, if they want to pay, if they want to win, they'll do it. A lot of these guys are just being cheap. They want to keep their profits.
So most guys, you think the owners are just using it as a business and not really trying to win?
There's certainly a lot of that in Major League Baseball.
Just an owner making money off his business, because they probably are still profiting even with COVID. I can imagine they're still making money. Jersey sales and whatnot. Still, more people are probably watching games on TV now than ever. Obviously, because nobody's at the games. Well, very limited fans, to say the least.
They're supposed to have a full crowd in Texas tonight, I believe. The Rangers, they're opening game full capacity.
Really? Well,
got to be the first game of any kind. In at least over a year.
Latoya wouldn't approve.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think she would approve, man.
Tulane's been at like 18% capacity for their game.
So how many people is that? That can't be much, like 180,000. Because they don't have a big stadium, huh?
I want to say it's like 500 or something.
500 and something.
Something like that.
Let's say 20% of that would be 100, so you're probably sitting at like 85 people sitting at the game. I imagine you can't generate much momentum from the crowd.
No, I've only went to one, and it was not a great time.
I tell you where I wouldn't want to be right now is at Alex Box Stadium, because I'd probably want to throw a freaking box of nachos at Paul Maneri's head right now. This
doesn't look like it's getting better either. Aiden Hill, he's out for the season. Tore his UCL.
That right there is a punch in the gut to all LSU baseball fans, because that guy should have been. He was talked about to be a top 10 pick, and he was like the big Friday night guy. He was gonna become, reliever into starting role, take over, but that is just one thing that kills me about Paul Maneri. It kills me. It drives me nuts that he keeps taking relievers and trying to turn them into starters time and time again. It started with Matty Ott back when they won in 09. Mm-hmm. And then the next, Zach Hess. It's a dying thing that he tries to do.
He's really not been the same since Zach Hess.
I don't even know. Zach Hess is probably bagging groceries at Publix in Florida or something.
Let's say he's in the Tigers organization. He was throwing like 91-mile-an-hour fastball in spring training.
91.
Something
so
like
basically,
that.
He's throwing BP for the hitters in single A ball right now.
Basically, he's not any good anymore.
So yeah, he's got to go a different route. That's from somebody that was 3 years ago wearing the Rick Vaughn Wild Thing glasses, coming into the game and throwing just nasty heat with movement, and all of a sudden.
Just didn't translate as a starter.
Dude, isn't it weird? You pitched in high school. What's the difference? Did you ever come out of like a relieving role? Because I relieved more than I started, and I think it's a huge difference between the two.
Yeah, it's definitely a big difference. Trying to hold something, save something for later. That's just not something Zach Hess was effective with. He's got to be going all out.
That guy had a gas tank that was like worse than the original Hummer. He wasn't getting you far until he had to refuel again. That's for sure. There's no way that he could have gone. Did he ever go 6 innings? He had
a couple of times. I think he made it 6 or 7 innings. It was rare.
But
do you think this should be it for Maneri if they miss the tournament?
I've been treating Maneri like I treated Les Miles the last 3 seasons when he was still coaching at LSU. I've been dying for him to go. He needs to get out of there. I don't know what it's gonna take for them to finally pull the trigger, because it's always like a nasty relationship ending when somebody he's not really like, LSU is gonna compete. They have all the talent in the world to compete with anybody. So what's going to happen. He's going to get this team to play hard for a little bit. They'll probably go they're 1-8 now, or 1 in SEC play. He'll probably get it turned around to where they go on a 6-2, 6-3 stretch. You'll get fans like me and other guys and other girls thinking, oh, hey, maybe they're turning the corner. The freshmen are getting better. Dylan Cruz is hitting the crap out the ball.
It is a young team.
Young team, but at the same time, I'm ready for him to go, man. Yeah. I think with a young team like that, I believe now that, it seems like LSU is getting more and more freshmen come in every year and starting. And I don't know, coaching now is just, it doesn't reach it won't reach players like it used to reach.
Yeah, as an impartial observer, I don't cheer for LSU. I don't think he's getting the job done. I'd probably move in a different direction, but I don't see them firing him. I'd maybe force him to retire.
No, I don't see them firing him either. If they
miss the tournament, maybe that would be pretty bad.
Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind if they just kept going down. Just go down like the the little Price is Right guy that used to go up the mountain, and then all of a sudden he gets to the top of the mountain, and then boom. I feel like the last time they made the World Series, when they got swept by Florida in the championship,
2017.
I think it was 2017. That was the tip. That was the tip right there. And then, you had Greg Dykeman, he had Kramer Robinson, he had a team full of seniors, juniors,
guys,
pitchers that were,
Boucher.
Lane, he had pitching, Zach Hess, like we said, coming off, closing games, even Fontenot as a young guy too. Good pitching, and then that was it. I think that was his last shot. He couldn't deliver it. Oh, dude, he started this pitcher in the first game that didn't even pitch all year long.
Who was it? I'm trying to remember.
Give me a second. Let's see. 2017 College World Series.
Didn't they have to beat Oregon State twice or something to get there? So they were thin on pitching going into that first game.
Yes, they.
I couldn't believe they beat Oregon State twice. Honestly,
Oregon State had lost 2 games, one game that whole year.
They lost 4 or 5 games, I think, all year.
Dude, they were insane that year. They pitched 2017 College World Series. Paul Maneri started this guy. I'll get back to it. I'm gonna find it, but this guy pitched, and he was good in his first few years, because I think he was a senior, and it was it was Russell Reynolds, I think his name. Russell Reynolds.
Okay, yeah.
Russell Reynolds.
I remember that name.
I remember him really good because I think he wanted to fight Southeastern's coach in the middle of the game.
Matt Rising.
Yes, I'm pretty sure he wanted to fight Matt Rising.
Sounds accurate.
I'm pretty sure that Rising was calling him out for, I want to say maybe some type of substance in the glove.
Pine tar or
some pine tar incident. Usually, 9 times out of 10, the coach is right, because everybody uses something. Everybody uses something.
Yeah.
Did you ever use anything in high school?
In high school, no. I never even knew how to use that stuff.
I feel like if I would have tried to use it pitching, I would have been the idiot to use KY jelly or something, and just send one 45 feet over backstop.
Maybe we should do an experiment. I want to get some of that stuff. We'll try it out.
KY jelly on
KY jelly. No.
About to say that.
You can try that.
I don't know about KY jelly on baseball.
Try the real stuff.
So you thinking that you throw a curveball, normal, what is it? We'll go 60 foot. no curve.
50 feet 6 inches.
Yeah, 60 feet 6 inches. Throw a curveball. We'll throw one. We'll film it and then see what happens with.
Yeah, we do all our pitches. I mean, try them all out.
I'll definitely catch because this guy's shoulder is gone.
Mine's pretty bad too, but I'll do it just to see what happens.
My shoulder is shot. I think Paul Maneri's seen his better days, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. I don't think it's gone. It's over with. That window closed. I mean, I seen a picture of him like literally looked like he was sleeping like this, just hanging out
against Tennessee.
Against Tennessee, just
that was a very bad look.
When you get swept by Tennessee, that has never been any good at baseball. I mean, that should be something on the schedule that LSU, dating back from the 90s, they've just always been there as like a elite baseball school. Just, it kills me that, like, even this past weekend, they were like, maybe we'll get one against Vandy at home.
I mean, I think that's what everybody in the country's hoping for, Vandy.
But just just from past experience, though, well, I guess
it is. Sad.
I guess with COVID,
right?
It's sad that they're at that point. I guess with COVID, it makes it even harder to use the box because if that place is packed, you've seen what happened to UC Irvine back in that Super Regional when they were up by a ton in like the 7th inning, and then all of a sudden,
I've had many bad experiences. Box.
Oh man, give me one. I want to hear. Come on, man.
I don't have anything offhand. Just general.
Just Tulane.
Uncomfortable at the box at a regional. The early 2000s, Tulane got sent there for a regional like every year. So
who?
It was not fun.
If I had to guess, your favorite Tulane baseball player, I'd have to guess it's like Michael Owens. It has to be, right?
I mean, he's certainly up there. He was only at Tulane for 1 year, though, so.
Was he a transfer? Like a junior transfer?
A transfer from Georgia Tech.
Wow.
I mean, he certainly had the best single season, but and was probably the best major leaguer. But my favorite, I'd probably say Tommy Manziel, 4-year starter, shortstop, played a little bit for the Astros.
I was say that's crazy. I never even heard of him. But it's like any like time that remember, like one play you remember that like made you like go, that's my favorite player.
Not one play in particular, but
just like all around. Yeah, the plays he made, you were like.
He's one of those guys that he even wrote a blog when he was at Tulane. One of the years he had a blog. Nobody really wanted him out of high school. He said he went to some camp at Ole Miss and just begged the coach to take him on as a walk-on. He said he didn't have any room for him. Ended up at Tulane, started from day one. Ended up being like a 5th-round pick. He didn't make it a full year, but he was an opening day starter, shortstop for the Astros 1 year. I think he got hurt midway through. He never made it back to the big leagues.
Yeah, if I had to guess, one player from LSU's team that was like my all-time favorite, and I don't know what happened to this dude, but Jared Mitchell. That dude was a stud on that 09 team.
Played on the football team too.
Right? Yeah. I mean, good thing he had a glove in baseball because the dude couldn't catch worth a damn football. But
yeah, he was a 1st-round pick. I think the White Sox.
Yeah, it was a White Sox 1st-rounder, and then I don't know if he ever made it out of AAA.
I don't think he ever made it to the major leagues. I don't think so.
It might have been some type of knee injury or something like that kept him out. I remember vividly some type of injury he had, minors, and just never recuperated and got back to it. But I mean, I don't know if it was the bats or whatever, because I know they still had the pretty good loaded bats back then. But it was like the CVSs they were using back then. I want to say it was something like that.
I think the bats are pretty good again. Like they're not I think it's like they used to be.
I think it's the balls, man.
The balls have improved too. They lowered the seams on.
Now it's like a AAA ball they're using.
I'm not sure exactly, but it's closer to what they use. Yeah.
No, you're not. I mean, that's for certain. You're not seeing too many. I mean, there's not too many low-scoring games going on in college baseball. I mean, they had to do something though, because when they changed
when they first made the change,
BB Core bats, dude,
unwatchable.
Especially at the new Omaha, stadium. I mean, you see bombs getting hit and there's a routine fly ball in left center.
They played so shallow.
I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch this.
I don't even think I watched when it first. Yeah, I was like, I can't watch this.
Who has to watch this small ball bullshit?
I'm gonna bunt.
Let me bunt my guy over to first. We're gonna try and steal second or hit and run the second. Get him over to third. We're gonna bunt one more time. Get a suicide squeeze, and that's gonna work 1 every 5 innings. Great, awesome. Put me to sleep. Great. Yeah. Who needs NyQuil? Horrible.
Yeah,
horrible.
There's definitely been changes since then. We see guys hitting like 25 home runs again.
Yeah, right. I mean,
baseball. There were years when that just nobody was doing that for a while.
No, I mean, LSU had Cade Doty, off the beginning of the year before the dreaded conference season started for us. I believe he had like 7 home runs in the first 8 games or something like that. And I mean, obviously it's dipped down, and who gives a shit? Because they probably won't even make a regional. So that's great. But let's talk about the Pels, man.
Pels. These last 2 games.
Oh, dude.
You been able to watch without Zion and Ingram?
Dude, I have still enjoyed just watching them play hard, dude. They've been playing hard. And that's all you can ask for. I mean, honestly, we've all been begging for like role players around Zion. Mm-hmm. And like, what better time to do that than now when even though Zion's hurt, B.I.'s hurt, you still have your team fighting to get you to that 10th playing spot. Because I know for damn sure nobody wants to see that goddamn freight train in the first round of the playoffs. Nobody. He gets healthy. I don't think they'll win, a series. But
yeah,
next year will be like, I think it would be a platform that catapults the Pelicans into like top 5, top 6 seed Zion MVP conversation. Especially if they stay with the point Zion route. I mean,
how long is Zion and Ingram supposed to be out?
They're both questionable tomorrow's game. So
I thought they might play last night.
I mean, I'm glad they didn't. They got the rest, and you got the W.
You don't need them. You don't need them against the Rockets.
Who needs them against the Rockets when you got James Johnson? Good God, JJ. Boy, you look stupid. You look so stupid right now, JJ. Damn. Oh, dude, Griff, you look like a madman genius. He got a 2nd-round pick, James Johnson, and Wes Iwundu, which I don't think Wes is going to do much once everybody gets healthy. He probably won't see much of the court. But, dude, JJ Redick wasn't doing anything.
Nah.
Like, I was surprised we got anything for JJ Redick. We got James Johnson. I've always liked James Johnson.
Yeah, I didn't realize James Johnson's been around that long.
But
he's been in the league like 10 years.
Dude, he's been around, and I have to say, dude, he reminds me so much of that role that like Coupon used to fill when Quincy Pondexter was here. Like, he's not the most athletic guy, but it seems like he's always doing the right thing. He's like right in the right position, and he's there to tell like the young guys something different. Like if they're starting to screw up, they're like getting back in this position. We got to get here. And not only that, I think he like leads the league in fights, right? Like, dude, this dude's like a scrapping machine. It's like he probably dreamt about the Malice in the Palace. I mean, you got to think this guy is ready to just take on anybody. Like the first guy that tried to take Zion's legs out, I guarantee he's the first guy to throw a punch.
He's ready for that.
There's no doubt about it. Like, gotta love everything about James Johnson.
Speaking of JJ Redick, did you hear all his whining about?
Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
About getting traded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, JJ. You sound like an idiot because, dude, when you talk about a manager not following your rules or whatever your requests are, like, dude, it's the NBA. It's a business.
Right.
It's a business. If David Griffin just lets you go, what is that telling Gail Benson? What is that showing her? Like, hey, I let a player walk away. Or just imagine a boss letting his say he's got a manager that's got a store, a chain of stores, and the one store that's doing the best, this guy just walked away, and hey, what, did we get anything in return? No, actually, he left, and he's not coming back. Felt like going on a 4-week vacation, and we let him go.
Yes, nicely. So we
right. I mean,
let him go.
If it would have, honestly, if he would have made a few shots. Maybe JJ gets to go where he wants to go.
Absolutely. There would have been a market for him. Somebody may have been willing to give something
right.
up for him.
I mean, where was Austin Rivers? Because I hope he wasn't with the 76ers. Was he?
He was with the Knicks. I don't know.
I don't know. He might not be playing at all because I was going to say like I know he wanted to go to. I think he wanted to go like back to Philly or
he said he wanted to go to Northeast. Probably wanted to go to Brooklyn.
Probably Brooklyn. Who doesn't want to go to Brooklyn right now? You probably got like Eric Gordon that wants to go to Brooklyn as well. You got all the people. David West is probably going to come back out of retirement and go play for Brooklyn a couple games.
See if he can get another ring.
Yeah, one more ring. I hate this. I hate how everybody does this. It's just, it just makes you sick. They
are fun to watch, though.
It's fun to see. It's fun to see that Blake Griffin hasn't forgot how to play basketball.
He remembered how to dunk.
That's amazing. Like in 2 years, it just all of a sudden came back. He's magic.
Got the ability to dunk.
I'm like, what the hell is this dude doing? I couldn't believe it. I'm like, well. Dude, Pistons fans got to be sick, right? I mean, dude,
I'd just be sick over getting.
What did the Pistons
trading for him?
What did the Pistons even get? Did they just buy? They bought him out.
They bought him out.
So JJ Redick wanted what Blake Griffin got, and
Blake Griffin. Who else has been bought out? Did Aldridge get bought out?
Yeah, he got bought out too. But I mean, nobody really cared because I don't know. I think Aldridge's game is just old. I think it's kind of outdated.
Probably still better than Blake Griffin.
All around wise, yeah. I'd say so. Because I think Aldridge can still defend on the inside. Blake Griffin's never been a plus defender,
right?
I mean,
I don't get where these buyouts. Like, who even started this trend? Like, you can just pay me and I'll take a reduced sum and I'll just get out of here.
Well, I tell you, who didn't help the damn cause was Anthony Davis. I mean, the whole bitching and moaning about, I just want to sit out or, I won't play this and that. But Adam Silver's got to put a stop to that. I mean, he's got to put his foot down at some point. He's definitely the most liked commissioner in any sport.
Oh, yeah.
But at some point, you got to stop wiping your player's ass and
I don't think he will.
Just get like, hey man, I've been giving y'all so much. You think I could get this back just a little bit? Just a little bit. Because
it would be nice if he did that.
Because it seems like all right, I get that there needs to be like a balance between players and ownership and just like who runs what. But it's so obvious that the players control the NBA, and it's like not even close. It's not even close. They get the guaranteed money, like
Kyrie gets to take the night off,
right?
Whatever he wants.
I mean, it really started with like Kawhi, back in San Antonio with the load management. Because I mean, really, we hadn't even heard of that until like 6 years ago. It wasn't even a thing, and now it's super normal. Rest.
Out rest.
Rest. But back to Anthony Davis, where he would like. We were going to sit him out so he couldn't get hurt, so we could get a valuable trade for the guy. We got threatened What was like 100,000 per game we were gonna lose, and then now look at like Al Horford, who's literally practicing at the facility to keep his basketball skills going and stay in shape, and doesn't have to play in any games for the Thunder. What?
Who's he staying in shape for? Does somebody want him?
Maybe the Dominican Republic team. Because I see him every time they try to qualify. They never come close. I think that was the one game I remember watching. They played against USA, and like Anthony Davis hit a 3 and got fouled. And I just remember seeing like John Calipari was the coach. And I was like, what? I was like, what is he doing coaching the Dominican Republic? First of all, like, who wants to listen to that guy? Did he? He didn't recruit anybody for that team because that's all he's got.
Getting his skill set, doesn't work for that.
Dude,
can't recruit for the Dominican Republic.
Coaches that just can. You gotta love college basketball coaches, because I feel like, dude, they get so much credit for almost nothing. Dude, they really don't do as much as people think. Like, Coach K, I bet you any money you throw Coach K in the NBA right now, give him 3 seasons.
Yeah, I don't think it would go well.
And I would give him a mediocre team, like in the East. Something like give him, give him the Knicks.
Coach K in the NBA is like Steve Clifford. He's just some guy that you forgot exists.
Exactly. You're talking about the Magic's coach, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I say, like, you gotta think.
Who's he coach?
He was
the Hornets.
He was the whole Bobcats, and then the Hornets. He got them to the playoffs a few times with like Gerald Wallace, and I think that was just it. Raymond Felton, maybe. Maybe he was there. I don't know. You didn't have much there. You had Adam Morrison for half a season. Speaking of Adam Morrison, man, I heard that dude went nuts on the call. I think he was like one of the calls for the Gonzaga game, and he was like screaming at the top of his lungs. He needed it because, dude, when they lost, was it like in 2004? Was it something like that? It was like 15 years ago or something like that when they played against UCLA, and they like monumental comeback from UCLA, and he was like literally crying on the court with 23 seconds left. Like, if I was a teammate and I see a player crying and the game's not over yet, we're only down like 1 point, and you're crying, can I call a timeout, coach, and just get him out the game real quick? Because we need 5 guys on the court. Because this guy literally can't see with just liquidation coming out the eyeballs because he's crying. Because, I don't think we're going to win. I don't know. Crying. Come on, dude. Like, honestly, I don't know. Maybe people should have saw that it wasn't going to work right then and there. An NBA fan, couldn't handle it.
Maybe so. Speaking of UCLA Gonzaga, did you see Bill Walton's reaction?
That was probably the most beautiful reaction.
Smiling, laughing, clapping. What
you probably didn't see was the amount of shrooms that he was eating, because I can imagine that. Yeah, he knew what was going on, but man, that guy.
I love that guy.
He has no cares about. He's got all full respect for me. I used to think he was just super senile old bat, especially like when he would announce the games, because he would be like and dude, he would ramble about everything. Like, literally 4 minutes of a basketball game would go wrong, and you would not know what's going on in a basketball. Like, if I'm say I'm watching a basketball game, I'll walk away from it. Let's say Marv Albert's doing a game. He's like literally like a radio. Like, I can, I know what's going on play by play. Drive to the hole, kicks it outside, shoots a 3. Bill Walton, nothing. He'll start talking about spaceships and hot air balloons and
the Grateful Dead.
The Grateful Dead, yeah.
Which sometimes is a little bit more entertaining than Pac-12 basketball at 10:30.
You raise a damn good point there. Who wants to sit up and watch? Was it Utah State and Cal?
I watched more Pac-12 basketball than normal this year. So
money on the line, probably.
Usually, but sometimes not.
That's what I would think. I have to imagine I have money on the game in order, but
You would think, but desperate times,
Right, when you gotta just be like, all right, this is the last game of the night. Can I save my ass from getting from this ass beating I took all day? I ain't gonna lie, I did that like what, a week and a half ago. It was like 3-game parlay I did in basketball, lost. Did another game, lost, and I was like, dude, all they got left is
one more game. One more shot.
It was hockey. It was like the Avalanche versus the Coyotes, and I was like, the Avalanche are favored. I really don't know anything about hockey. I mean, who does from New Orleans? Like, who does? But I was like, well, all right, Avalanche it is, $500. I woke up the next morning and it was there. I was like, what? Okay, I'll take the W. I mean, pure luck, but every now and again,
you need that sometimes.
Every now and again, I do watch a little bit of hockey. I wish
playoff hockey.
Oh man, playoff hockey, they go nuts. I would love to actually go to a professional hockey game.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I would. I don't know. What's the closest one here? Probably like the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, probably Dallas or Florida, one of those two.
But just to be there, the crowd goes absolutely insane. You gotta love a good fight every now and again. And I don't know. I don't have a trouble like following the puck on TV. But I'd imagine it'd be insanely hard to follow this puck at an actual game. You just probably have to wait until you hear the buzzer go off and then start cheering.
Right. I can imagine.
All right, what else here? We got.
I did have one story. I don't know if you heard this one.
What you got?
It was a random guy at USC put on a jersey and walked onto the practice field. Had his helmet, full practice gear. He's just out there practicing, catching punts. Somebody
like, how old is this guy?
I don't know. It doesn't give a whole lot of details in this article. Eventually, somebody's like, "Who the hell is this guy catching punts?"
Was he any good? Like, do you think they were like, did he catch any? Do you think he was maybe trying to catch somebody's eye?
Yeah, I think he wanted to be on the team.
Like,
I don't think this was just like a prank. I think he wants to play. And
man, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the time that Johnny Knoxville.
This does sound like a Johnny Knoxville type stunt.
Do you think maybe since Jackass was the Jackass 52, since they all making a new Jackass?
Yeah, they are.
This is like the 50th movie. Do you think maybe that's what it is? You think maybe they're not reporting who it is?
Could be.
Maybe it could
be.
You might
be onto something. I don't think you're the first person to suggest that, actually.
I have a feeling that it could be like another Johnny Knoxville stunt, because usually in every movie there is a football thing, and he could be going back to his roots. Because I remember I remember this dude trying to catch the punt, and he fumbles the first one, and dude, he just runs 3 yards, and all of a sudden, boom, dude, 8 defenders just clobber him. And Pete Carroll is pissing himself dude, yes, this is awesome. Come, go back there and get one more. And then Johnny Knoxville's next time, don't hit me with your purse. And I'm like, dude, this guy is insane.
Yeah, Pete Carroll did love doing the stunts at USC. I remember one time he had Lindell White fake a suicide on Halloween.
What?
Just as a stunt. Yeah. He had him fake his suicide. I'm not exactly sure the details, but it happened. This is a real story. It really happened.
It really doesn't surprise me, because it seemed like Lindell White was always in trouble, in the pros as well. When he went to Tennessee, he didn't do much. I think he was always in trouble off the field.
Alcohol stuff, alcohol-related issues, if I recall correctly.
Pete, you didn't help the cause, brother. You didn't help the cause. Man.
He thought he was doing something fun, but
dude, that's crazy. I bet Pete Carroll was the funnest player to play for.
Oh,
I bet
you gotta playing for Pete Carroll.
I feel like now that he's got a ring, he's been to the Super Bowl a couple times. I don't care if Russell Wilson doesn't even want to play for him no more. I don't think Seattle could ever get rid of him. I feel like that he's going to be one of those situations that's like a Paul Neri situation at LSU. Even if they do start not playing well, you got to be he's got to give us another reason. We got to look for something on the outside here, like Deshaun Watson,
Oh,
Houston.
man.
Oh.
Is he ever going to play again? Is this it for him?
Dude, if any of this is true.
Like, seriously.
If any of this is true, and I've heard some terrible stories, like this guy goes into, massage parlors and asks for nothing but massages on the abdomen area and the groin area and the quad area. No, my shoulder's fine. No, it's cool. I'm good up here. Back's fine. By the way, I'm going to lay on my back the whole time. And I want a hand towel. Something like this. A little hand towel, put it around me. That's fine. That's all I want. He's like, oh, the cloth they give you is itchy and it hurts my skin. I'm like, dude, who are you? Yeah, it burns. My ass. But dude, how horrible of a human being do you have to be to have 22 different women? 22 different women?
Just 22 different massage therapists. That seems like a lot.
And dude,
seems like something might be up.
This old lady's a beautiful girl too. Like you wonder, like, what is going through the dude's head? You think it's like maybe a control?
Yeah, it's one of those Bill Cosby type. Darren Sharper things.
Like, you think you just can run everything, like, whatever I say goes type of deal. Like, that's insane, dude. Absolutely insane. But to your point, yeah, I think Deshaun Watson's done with. And, I don't feel bad for the Houston Texans. I feel bad for every woman that was involved. That is horrible, and I hope he goes to prison if it's true. But Houston, they are like fucking falling far behind Cleveland, as in the laughing stock of the NFL. Like, everything that has to do with is it Bill O'Brien is over there? Is he still over there?
No, he's gone.
Is he gone, dude?
He's the offensive coordinator for Alabama now.
Nick Saban, you're so wonderful. You take all the rejects. Lane Kiffin,
like such a weird fit.
Lane Kiffin, was it Sarkisian, dude? You take all the rejects, and you're like, well, come here. Daddy's got you. I'll take care of you. You sign over your soul to me. We'll win a national championship.
Then you'll leave.
You'll go make money again. You'll piss somebody else off because you'll convince them that you can coach. Dude, did you see the offensive numbers that Alabama put up last year? I think he's ready for another chance. Let's give Lane Kiffin the job at Ole Miss. Why not? I mean, I will give Lane Kiffin this. He is doing okay at Ole Miss. It's not his fault that they're not that good because I think the defense is horrible. Dude, Max Johnson last year at LSU absolutely lit him up with Keyshawn Boutte. Boutte had like a record day, even after having Jamal Chase and Terrace Marshall and Justin Jefferson, like having all of those weapons with Joe Burrow and a freshman lefty, Max Johnson, is the guy that tosses over 400 yards to Keyshawn Boutte, another freshman, against your team. Woof.
That was a bad defense Ole Miss had. That was.
Speaking of, dude, LSU football. If they don't get it together this year, I think you can have. I think Coach O might be on a big hot seat.
Certainly a possibility.
Especially with all this, sexual misconduct going on, dude.
What are they doing over there?
Dude,
Darius Geis. What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
All right, so straight up, Darius Geis, he has to have like horns coming out his head, right? Especially with like the old 73-year-old lady, right? With the old dude. What are you doing? Oh, you want some of this young meat? You want some of this? Like what?
I can't even imagine. Somebody doing that to a 75-year-old, 74-year-old woman.
Dude, imagine
working security.
Do you have a grandma? You know what I'm saying? Imagine your grandma calling you on the phone crying because some man just said that he wanted to give us some young sweet meat. Oh!
And And then Coach O calls him and says, he was just
Yeah,
messing around.
just joshing. That's all the boys do nowadays. That's all it is. We're just kidding. He's kidding. He's kidding. He's just joking. Hey, my boy, that's the best guy. Hey, I try to tell him no, but hey, he can't resist the old meat. He loves my old potted meat. That's what he loves. That's my boy, Darren's guy. I love him. He's an idiot, but I love him. Yeah, I don't think Coach O is gonna make it much longer if they lose some games.
Wasn't a bad impression.
Thanks, man. I'm kind of offended, but it's all right because it's scary. Because the first time I ever went on a date with my fiance, she did say I had like a super heavy Cajun accent,
Really?
and I was like, dude, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she just like said, yeah, you kind of sound like little Bobby Boucher. And I'm like, yeah, this date's not going good.
Couldn't have been feeling good.
Boy, was I wrong getting married? But hey, I'll take it. But dude, if they go, what? You think they're gonna have another 10-game season? Is that what they're doing this year again? Is it already going back to a normal schedule?
I think it'll be back to normal this year. Yeah.
You go back to a normal schedule. If he goes 6-6,
yeah, that would probably be it for him.
That's a wrap, dude. 6-6. I guarantee you, if he starts losing more games, there's gonna be more and more allegations coming out. The more and more games you lose,
they'll be looking.
The least amount that administration is going to stop sweeping under the rug. They're like, all right, well, we can handle this if you win 3 in a row. If you win 4 in a row, we'll sweep a little more, 5 in a row. Got up to here. It looks like just go coach naked if you get undefeated. That's basically what Les Miles was doing. When Les Miles was inviting women over, he wanted nothing but blondes. Like, dude, what?
Were you surprised to hear that stuff?
No, I wasn't surprised to hear it. I wasn't surprised to hear it because he's so sick. He's sick. He's a sick old man. He loves to eat grass. Loves to eat grass. How would he not like to do weird shit with beautiful women?
I'm going to tell you, 90% of college head coaches, if you had told me that story about it, I'd been like, that sounds about right. Les Miles, I was a little surprised.
Dude, what? I'm on the opposite side because I'm like...
Maybe I'm wrong. I was obviously wrong.
Because, dude, Mad Hatter, this dude runs halfback draws on 3rd and 22, where you need to win the game. Just weird guy. Eating grass before games. Or literally not knowing what time was on the clock for any game in the 4th quarter, especially the Tennessee game where T-Bob Abaz saved LSU's ass. Oh man, dude, I'll just never forget that game. That game, I was like, I want to murder Les Miles if I had superpowers, or if I had a genie that showed up right now and been like, all right, you got one wish, and I'm like, I would have been straight up, give Les Miles diarrhea for 4 years.
Diarrhea for 4 years.
Diarrhea for 4 years. Don't kill him. Let's just everything that he eats. It's super explosive Crohn's disease. It's going right
he
through.
He would probably had to retire.
And I would have saved those women. I would have saved those women with that.
And LSU football. He would have had to retire. You can't coach like that.
There's no way. He would probably have a little baggie with him. You know how they got the scooters and they got the cart on the side. He probably would have had to be on a little moped thing, run around and it's just a shit bag just sitting right there, just going around. And that would have been Les Miles. But no, I'm glad he's gone, and I was not surprised the least surprised about that, because I was like, dude, he eats grass and he's crazy, But it was so easy for Kansas to just fucking let him go, obviously, because, dude, who cares about Kansas? Because they don't win games at all anyway. It was so easy for Kansas because, it's the opposite for LSU. They're winning games back then. The only games they lost was against Alabama, and occasionally they lose, an Arkansas game at the end of the year because they, gave it everything they had against Alabama, and the next 2 weeks were, just people that just got out of an Army fight, and you got guys crawling on the field, basically the end of Space Jam, before. But
now Kansas is considering going after Tulane's coach. So LSU covering up a sex scandal. might cost Tulane their head coach.
Just when you thought Tulane fans couldn't hate LSU even more.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be mad.
Do you not like him? Do you not?
No, he's a good coach.
I'm not saying because he's
doing a really good job.
Honestly, he's a better coach than Curtis Johnson.
Oh, he's the best coach Tulane's had since Tommy Bowden. But I don't know.
They win games.
I think they'll be all right if they don't have him.
They should have won more games. I've seen quite a few Tulane games where I turn on and they're up by 20,
right.
and then
that's where I'm going. I think maybe a new coach might be able to get a little bit better. It could be worse, obviously. He's not bad, but I think they could maybe do better. So I'm not going to lose any sleep. If they lose him.
Who's the starting quarterback?
Starting quarterback, Tulane, Michael Pratt. He's pretty good. He was a freshman last year. They had some freshman All-American teams.
Michael Pratt.
Yep, Florida.
He's no Sean King, I tell you.
Nah, he's not quite Sean King, but
I just remember seeing him, I don't know, ESPN, little kid watching, and I'm like, man, this Tulane team is really good, and just going back to it, I think it was just a team way ahead of its time. Sean King and crew. Was it Rich Rod? Rich Rod? Yeah, dude. Dude, that's a guy that probably still gets jobs off of that Tulane team. Still to this day, 20 years later, still gets jobs from that one or few seasons.
Do you know where he's at now? So you can guess.
He's not in Arizona. I don't think he's in
Arizona.
Can you narrow it down to me?
It's in the state of Louisiana. He's not a head coach. He's offensive coordinator for one team in Louisiana.
ULL?
ULM.
Ah, good God. That's amazing. Oh, good gravy. Well,
Terry Bowden's the head coach.
Well, look at that. Reuniting, and it feels so good.
Oh, I'm interested to see how it works. It's certainly interesting.
I think it would work 20 years ago.
Old as shit.
Dude, you think they'll make it through the season, health wise? What does Rich Rod even look like nowadays?
Same as he's always looked, really. Same old thing.
Man, that's great. That is great. Oh, let's go pros for a second. Football wise, since we're on football. What do you think the Saints are gonna do this year? No Drew Brees.
I think maybe a wild card. Maybe 10-7.
Yeah, that's right. I was about to say 7, and I was like, wait, I forgot. Stupid schedule up to 17 games. Why? Then they're probably not going to get rid of any preseason games.
I think they said they were going down to 2 preseason games.
If they do that, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Because
What do you think? The Cowboys, they'll never go 8-8 again. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel so good, but I know they'll find a way. They'll tie one game. They'll tie one game. They'll go 8-1. They'll do it. If one team can do it in the NFL,
I hope somebody
it's
does.
Dallas Cowboys.
I hope somebody does.
I think
preferably
they'll do
the
it.
Cowboys, but
Especially if they don't do anything to address any needs on defense. I don't care how many weapons they get on offense. Dude, the Cowboys have a top 5 offense right now.
What pick do they have?
They have the 10th pick.
10th pick?
They have a top 5 offense, but yeah, by the way, guys, I'm a Cowboys fan. Don't kill me for it. My dad's fault. He groomed me into it, and now he's a Saints fan. He's just a bandwagon fan altogether. But yeah, since the Cowboys haven't been any good since the 90s, he doesn't like them anymore. I was born in 95, literally born a month before the last, or a month after the last Super Bowl they won. So I believe that I am the curse to the Dallas Cowboys. Never, ever, ever winning another Super Bowl. The day I die, that year, whatever, they'll win. They'll win. So, I hope I don't ever get any, hardcore Cowboys fans that ever watch, because this, I could be murdered on the spot. Hey, Terry, how's it going? Poof.
Gotta test the theory out.
I'm good on testing the theory out. But, yeah, Cowboys go 8-1. Saints, what do you say, 10-7?
That's best case scenario, honestly.
I mean,
I don't really expect it.
I mean, if there's any time to prove how good LASIK surgery works,
We'll find out.
Jameis Winston's about to be the biggest spokesperson for the LASIK. He could be the head honcho of LASIK soon, man. If let's say this guy goes 12-5, 11-6, couple playoff wins, Pro Bowl, Taysom hoop. I mean, he's just gonna stick as your utility guy, a little Swiss Army knife. Because, I mean, I think it's a super high ceiling and a super low ceiling for Jameis Winston. I think if you were the opposite way and you had Taysom Hill starting at quarterback, it's a high floor, low ceiling. I think that you could go, no matter what, Taysom Hill starts, you make a playoff appearance. But you're not going nowhere because by the time you get there, it's a super limited offense. I feel like by the time you get there, like people have, Taysom's going to get figured out in like 6 games anyway. And from what I saw, the deep ball, it would be like 1 every 6 he'd throw well. The other 5 was like the third row, the ref standing in the corner.
Full season. Taste.
The fumble, dude.
The fumble.
The fumbling. What's up with the fumbling? He's eating jambalaya for breakfast. What's going on?
He didn't scramble enough for a guy as good a runner.
You would think like this dude is running people over when he's just getting called to play running back every now and again. He runs people over, puts his shoulder down. He's like, "I'm gonna truck you." He starts at quarterback, and it's like his mind transfers into like a princess. It's like, don't touch me.
It's not what I expected. I was expecting a lot more.
Like super happy feet. Like, I'm scared. I don't know. Like maybe he's got like flashbacks at BYU.
Those damn small hands. You can't hold on to the ball.
These dudes got whopper hands. Little big things. Big whopper hands. He goes to grab the little burger and gets it on his face because he can't. I mean, it's just.
Teddy Bridgewater could be back in play too. Sam Darnold to the Panthers.
Wow. So, are you saying that maybe there's a possibility that Sean Payton says, "Hey, let's go get Teddy again"?
I don't think it would be crazy to think. I mean, he could get cut by the Panthers. They could cut him
and just get straight picked up, right? I mean, what did Jameis sign with the Saints? 1-year deal again?
I think it was a 1-year deal.
Another 1-year deal. So, like, that's like a legit possibility that Jameis could be the starting quarterback or not be on the team at all. Is what you're saying?
I mean, I think he'd still be on the team. Not sure what they would do if they brought in Bridgewater. Maybe he could just compete, or be the backup.
Well,
never know.
Well, it's a season that's going to be like any other for the Saints, especially without Drew Brees. Super unknown everywhere. Marshawn Lattimore is, gang banging in Cleveland. Janoris Jenkins gets released right before that. You think he was? You think Mickey Loomis was like just so mad at himself right after that? Like
they had to get rid of him, just salary cap purposes.
All right. Let's say they don't get they were waiting. Like say, all right, it would have been like 1 more week until they got rid of Jenkins. And then the Lattimore, let's say the Lattimore news comes out first. Do they get rid of Jenkins?
I'd have to think so, but you never know. I mean,
did Lattimore get his big payday yet?
He has not gotten paid yet. That might bring his cost down a little bit.
He's not going to get it. There's too many good players in the draft, first of all. This is a draft, I think, loaded with good cornerbacks in the first round. I mean, he was a first-round pick. He hasn't played up to his rookie season.
No,
that was a lights-out season. I was like, this dude is the man. And then I was like really, really, I used to be a fan of Marshawn Lattimore until they played against the Vikings 2 years or 3 years ago now. Because, or 2 years ago when they lost to Kirk Cousins in the wild card.
Oh, the playoff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt.
When he got hurt, but
overtime.
wasn't hurt, and like it was like he didn't want to come back in the game. Like, what are you doing? Like, get your ass out there if you're not that hurt, or it just like he gave up on the Saints. He gave up on them. And like I'm outside looking in guy with the Saints, so like I really see through like a bunch of bullshit that most Saints fans don't see through. And so like I'm like, well, I won't even go into the whole Tommy Lee Lewis deal. I don't want to get into that. We'll save that for another episode. But I just see things that some Saints fans don't see, and I think that Marshawn Lattimore has progressively gotten worse. And honestly, on the defense, who is safe? I mean, obviously Davenport's safe now. Even he got his contract, and he didn't really earn it. But I mean, I guess you gotta, it's kind of like a Mark Ingram deal. Whenever like the first 3-4 years they had Mark Ingram, he didn't do anything. He did absolutely nothing. You kept having running backs behind him that kept playing better than him, but they kept giving him more opportunities. And all of a sudden, Kamara shows up, and it was like life changing for Mark Ingram. It was the Ingram that everybody wanted for the Saints. I mean, I remember going to a game when the Cowboys played against the Saints. The Saints broke the NFL record for most first downs in a game. And Ingram had like an easy 150 on the ground. Ingram became a good running back. I don't know. Do you think maybe he comes back? Is he on a team right now?
I think he signed with the Texans.
Poor bastard. I guess that was just a money thing. It might have been the only team that
it was probably
the only offer he had. It's like, like you think his agent called him and was like, hey, bud, I got you an offer. And he's like, ooh, great. Where? Like, where we going? Where we going?
Yeah, I think he was with that coach in Baltimore. Whatever that coach is, David Coley.
But, I mean, you think his agent called him? And he was like, hey, what's up? Yeah, we're going to Houston. Say what? Yeah, we're going to Houston. You think you give me another team? Because, I mean...
Beggars can't be choosers, He was getting just a healthy scratch like the last...
I think I'd rather be a healthy scratch than play for the Houston Texans, though. I want to be Chase Daniel.
That's a great career.
I mean, dude, he made a couple appearances last year for Detroit. I don't think he won any games. But constantly, year after year after year, when his contract is up, his agent gives him the big bucks. He's got like Jerry Maguire as his damn agent. It's amazing how he keeps getting paid over and over and over and over. He's like Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn's still probably getting paid from the Packers and the Seahawks and the Raiders. Like, the one game Matt Flynn goes banana ham sandwich. And Matt Flynn goes ham for the Packers in the last game of the season. And they're like, well, Aaron Rodgers is just the system quarterback, or this guy is a machine.
Did Matt Flynn even start a game ever since? Did he get one start for the Seahawks? I don't think he did.
I mean, he got beat out at Oakland the next year by. Do you remember? I remember. See if you know.
Oakland.
This guy. Terrell Pryor beat him out. Terrell Pryor didn't even play a full 2 seasons at quarterback. Went to Washington. And became a wide receiver. Was okay, first 2 seasons until, was it Pac-Man Jones that put the slander down on him, and it seemed like he didn't make it. I'm pretty sure it was Pac-Man Jones.
I don't remember.
Could have been Pac-Man. Right? Is Pac-Man in jail again? I feel like he is. He's always in trouble. I remember he played for the Cowboys for like a half a season. They gave him a big contract. Cowboys were on Hard Knocks. It was like the year after they went 12-4 with the whole Tony Romo, Jessica Simpson deal. And I was like, well, this is not going to end well.
Cowboys love signing criminals. You gotta give them that.
They do, dude. They are so good at picking up guys, giving them that second chance. Jerry Jones is a very, very nice man. He does give everybody a shot. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are, man. I think that one of these days that good karma is gonna work for Jerry Jones.
I believe that.
One of these days, and like you said, it won't be 8-8 anymore. It'll be 9-8. 9-8. Squeak in the shittiest division of shitty divisions.
I don't want you that division.
That division is not getting any better anytime soon because the Giants will always think that Daniel Jones is going to be good, and he's not.
He won't be.
Yeah, you made it even better by getting Jason Garrett as your offensive coordinator. Yikes. Holy crap. When they signed Jason Garrett as a coach, I was like, dude, that's awesome. He's staying in the division. Like, usually you're like, no, he's in the division. Like, a coach leaves or a player leaves, and you're like, damn it, I got to see him twice. I'm like, yes, I get to see him twice. I get to see him twice because I know he is garbage at his job. Man, that red bastard sucked as a coach. And he somehow finessed Jerry Jones for like 14 years. 14 years.
Was it that long?
It was like 14 years. He was like Marvin Lewis from the NFC. And Marvin Lewis was a good coach.
Yeah, Marvin Lewis is probably better.
Marvin Lewis is a good coach.
He won with the Bengals.
He did win.
With the Bengals.
He did win. He made Andy Dalton look good for a little while.
It's hard to do.
He made him look good because I seen Andy Dalton with the Cowboys, and that was yikes. I'd rather Garrett Gilbert. Garrett Gilbert against the Steelers should have won that game. But they had a problem in the goal line in that game. And also Zeke is trash. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, by the way. Ezekiel Elliott's done, but he's not done because of one. Tony Pollard is 1A on backups. Like, he might get drafted in some fantasy leagues because the potential on this guy to just touch the ball. If he gets 6 touches in a game, there's a chance he breaks one. Because I feel like almost every time this dude touched the ball, the one game that he got to play, I was scrambling to find Tony Pollard in every fantasy football league against the 49ers last year. And I was like, man, it's not working out well. He had like 1 touchdown at the beginning of the game. And then all of a sudden, fourth quarter comes, he bust out like a 75-yard touchdown. I was like, I knew it. And then he could catch the ball. Zeke, it's like he tries to catch balls like this. He can't catch. He's gotten fatter every year. He's getting fucking close to Eddie Lacy weight, and it's killing me. He's becoming Cheeseburger Eddie so quickly. It's disgusting. Zeke's getting he's getting fatter. His head and his beard's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's got a nose ring that's like a nose hoop now. It's getting bigger. It started out as like a stud in his nose. Now it's a big old hoop. One day, you don't have to worry about anybody snatching the chain off him. They're gonna snatch the hoop nose out. It's gonna be disgusting. That's the Dallas Cowboys, and that's the life I'll have to live until I'm not living anymore, and then, maybe from upstairs or downstairs, wherever I go. They got TVs. They got TVs somewhere, and maybe I can watch and win some games then. So, it could be 30 years down the road, 50, 70, who knows? But, that's going to conclude our first episode of Nelly and the Stache Sports Land Yap.